So if you had to start a brand new online business this year, there are a ton of different options to choose from. Even across our own channel, we've talked many times about drop shipping, the power of affiliate marketing, or even starting your own agency. Now, out of all the different online businesses that exist today, the real question is which one is going to give you the highest profit for the lowest amount of work. Now, especially when I go on TikTok and I be seeing that literally teenagers right now are making $100,000 every single month. Now, when I personally first got started out as an entrepreneur, I had to put in a ton of time trying out a wide variety of methods to make money for myself. Along that journey, some things worked, others didn't, but I got a good idea of what goes into a successful strategy, and ultimately, it birthed multiple seven-figure businesses that I now own. Now, from that, this video here is gonna focus simply on one business model that I believe often gets overlooked, but yet still has so much potential to make a lot of money. So with that being said, I'm gonna show you what that business model is, teach you step by step on how you can get started as a beginner, and I'll also be giving you some crucial tips for success at the end of this video. So the first question is, what makes for a good starter business model? Now, out of all my years of being here within the space, I believe it just comes down to answering these three simple questions. Can you start the business with $0? Do you need to hold a ton of inventory? And can you start this business all from the comfort of your home? Now, if you can answer yes to the trifecta of questions, then you have what I'd say is a winning business strategy to have something that's easy, convenient, and with the possibility to scale. Now, naturally, the first thing that probably comes to your mind is drop shipping, right? I mean, that business right there can be started with no money, no inventory, and also anywhere from the world. But actually, we're gonna get a bit more specific with a business model underneath drop shipping, which is called print on demand. All right, so what is print on demand? Well, let me show you. Using print on demand, you can create and design custom products and sell them directly to the consumer without ever holding inventory. It sounds a lot like drop shipping, but in comparison to that, this is where a distributor holds the inventory and ships it out directly to the customer when you make a sale. With print on demand, the products aren't actually made until the customer makes the purchase, unlike drop shipping where all of the inventory is generally made and you're shipping it from the manufacturer or a trading company over to the consumer. The benefits of using print on demand as a business model is that you can get custom variations in custom products because those products aren't yet made. So where it comes in real handy is apparel, home decor, or even other accessories like mugs, journals, and more. Because products can also be customized, it allows you to create a more specific branded store than you would get with a traditional dropshipping model. Here's a good example of a pretty solid print on demand store that actually turns out it's printing some money. So this website here is called Dumb Club, which was launched by a high school senior back in 2020, entirely from that print on demand business model. And he went ahead and marketed this business through organic TikTok traffic. Now, how do I know that they're making bank? Well, using a website like SimilarWeb where I can actually track their analytics, it actually shows me that their website here has over 38,000 visits in the last month with only a 25% bounce rate. With most of their products ranging from $49 to $100, if you do the math off even just a 3% conversion rate, which I think is very conservative, knowing that this is an influencer driving traffic to his own website through organic marketing, I believe he could be making way more than that. Now, let's say the average price of one of these items is about $70. And if you do the math, 3% off of 38,000 visits, that's 1,140. And then if we multiply that to 70. So this person here is doing about $80,000 in a single month on that conservative note. You also have to take into note that usually when someone's buying merch, they're not just buying one item. Oftentimes there are upsells and cross sells, which also raises that average order value. Now that we have a better idea of the potential of how much someone can make using print on demand, also with the fact that this person here has to do no inventory, they don't have to go to the UPS or USPS at all, and all of this is pretty much automated. Let's now go over the pros and the cons of print on demand. All right, so here are the pros. When it comes to print on demand, it's easy to start, there's zero risk, and there's no location requirement. So first of all, if you don't have any experience in business, design, or product development, this is one of those beginner business models where anyone can really get started. We'll go over the actual step-by-step process in setting up a successful store, but just in a nutshell for you to know, all you have to do is first choose a niche, find a product, and then from there, it's really simple. You set it up with whatever platform you're using to sell on, link it up with a service like Printify, and then from there, they're gonna automatically fulfill those orders whenever it comes in. Now, print on demand also has zero risk, like we mentioned, so this means you don't have to worry about buying inventory, you don't need to worry about payroll costs with staff or logistics. It's pretty straightforward. What I love most about this business model though is that you do not need to be in a specific location. With print on demand, you could be living in Maryland, Malaysia, or even Mexico, and you could still start this business. Now, this sounds like the dream business model, right? Well, I'd be a cringy little lying little YouTuber if I didn't give you guys the full picture, because there are some cons and I want you guys to have actual full awareness of what that is. So print on demand stores, few things. No quality control, longer wait times, and also split responsibility. I also want to include one more thing, which is usually the cost. You're not going to be getting the best margins, but let's start from the top. So no quality control. If you don't see your inventory, you're not going to be able to vouch whether or not the quality of it is consistent. Now, that is unless you go with a more reputable print on demand service, which we'll talk about soon. On top of that, print on demand could also be a bit longer for the customer to get their order, and that's just because if you happen to get a whole bunch of inventory orders and 20 other people do using a print on demand service, there's just so much that they can do in one single given time, and during a busier season, it might extend the amount of time that your customers might get their package. Now, even though you don't hold products when it comes to print on demand, customers are still going to come to you with their problems, so you need to at least make sure that you manage your side of the responsibility and that you communicate well enough with the supplier to find any solutions. So generally, you're gonna have less risk with the business, but it also means that your expenses are gonna be a bit more high. Now, just keep in mind that with any business model, you're gonna have some risks. Even if they're not financial risks, there are always the risk of failure and the risk of reputation, damage, and more. Your goal should be to mitigate these cons and prevent the risks, but then the question is, how can you do that? So I believe the single-handed most important thing that you can do within this business is to find a reputable supplier. Now, Printify is still one of the best leading suppliers out on the market, and they are right now one of the largest print-on-demand platforms that print, package, and ship over 850 custom designed products. Now, this collaboration here with Printify worked out effortlessly, and that's because at the end of the day, I just want my audience or you watching this video to get recommended the best and safest platforms to exist. So when it comes to Printify, first of all, this is entirely free and it's designed for absolute beginners. Not only that, but they give you the ability to ship worldwide, and they offer a massive product selection, and they also have some of the lowest prices on the market right now. So before we get started with this tutorial, if you guys want to check out Printify and walk through the steps as I explain it, check out the link down below in the description to sign up today. We'll get back to Printify in a bit, but now that we have a supplier, let's all piece this together. So the next question we need to answer when it comes to starting any successful print-on-demand service is, where are you going to sell the products? Personally, for me, I have the most amount of experience on Shopify, but I do know that Etsy is going to be a lot more easier to use in the beginning. The benefit of both of that is they automatically link together with Printify, so you don't have to do no like API key merging. It's all simple, it's all integrated, but for the purpose of today's video, we're just going to use Etsy because I'm assuming that you guys are just getting started within the space. Compared to Shopify, Etsy is pretty much just a marketplace where they already have organic traffic flowing around, and you don't have to do extra marketing in order to drive sales into your Shopify custom website. All right, so this process breaks down into just 4 simple steps in getting started. First, find a niche in a product. Second, design your product. Third, publish. And then fourth, you market it. So let's go through each one in depth, starting with finding a niche in a product. So what I'm gonna do for this one here is by first coming up with ideas, and I generally like to actually start by looking at TikTok. This is where you can say, you know, you're working right now, but you're also scrolling on TikTok. Best of both worlds, right? All right, so I like using TikTok nowadays because I've said this in some of my other videos, I'm gonna say it again, but TikTok is more than a social media platform, but it is an algorithm that is designated to show you the right products and connect you with another community that exists on their app. And listen, if you get plugged in and you find some of the trending products, you like it, TikTok is gonna force you more trending products products that are getting more views, more sales, things that people are interested in, and that's gonna give you really good product research to get started. So after you open up TikTok, you can start by searching for trending products or even Amazon hauls. Nowadays, a lot of different lifestyle TikTokers too will share their purchases with their audience, so we can use the audience response in the comment section to gauge what people will actually want to buy. Now, if you scroll through TikTok with Printify's catalog on another screen, you can easily compare the two to see which one has the highest opportunity. Now, the next goal is to find a product that fits your idea and it still has a decent enough profit margin. So from there, you're gonna wanna balance quality and price with the products that you choose. So for example, let's say we come across some nicely designed journals that were trending on TikTok. From there, we can go to the Printify website, hover over catalog, head over to the home and living section, then click on journals and notebooks. So we scroll through, there are gonna be a ton of different product options from spiral notebooks, hardback, or even just different type of journals. Basically, you're gonna wanna come up with an idea and make sure that you can still sell it through Printify. All right, step number 2, designing your product. So the next stage of the process is gonna be to have a little bit of fun here, a little bit of creative juices flowing. For this, I like to head over to Pinterest. I know the men be sleeping on this, but boys, let me tell you, Pinterest, it's got some goat stuff. And yes, I just made up those words, but y'all know my drift, right? Skirt. So we decided on the concept of journals. Let's just type in on Pinterest, journal design. And from here, you can see a ton of variety in different concepts, from photo design to just simple graphics. Basically from here, you're gonna want to save some of the design ideas. And then from here, look into which one gives you the most amount of inspiration and see how you can link this with your own products. By the way, there are some items here on Pinterest where they actually exist on Etsy. And if you go ahead and right-click on the photo and inspect it, and it comes up, you can also see how well they are selling just by looking at the reviews. All right, so now we have the design idea. Let's head into Printify once again. From here, take a look at the different product options and click on the one that you want to sell. And then from there, you just start designing. Now you can add graphics that they already have in Printify by clicking on the box in the top right corner. My favorite part of this is that once you add anything, you can click preview and see the design on the item. But even better than that, it also shows you how the item would look in specific settings, like in this case on a table or even a desk. Now I'm willing to bet that you're gonna wanna get even more creative than that, so let me show you some other tools that you can use. So if you go onto the websites RawPixel, Pexels, or Unsplash, these will allow you to get free design elements like textures, icons, photos, and more. Now, by the way, we covered this method too in our AI side hustle video, but I'm gonna mention it here again. You can use AI tools like Midjourney to get really custom designs that you could never make, that an AI bot generates to you, all for the price of, I believe they have a trial membership for free, but then the monthly membership is like $30. Anyways, going back into this, I'm gonna use RawPixel. From here, click on elements, press papercraft, and then we can find design elements like these. After that, download it, go back into the edit tab and add from my device. Then you'll add the photo to your library. It's gonna allow you to import it. And then from there, you customize your design to however you want. By the way, you can do cool things like changing the background color and even adding things like text directly into Printify. Now, by the way, the goal here is to make things stand out and look like a real high quality product. Now, if you want to use Pexels or Unsplash, you can pull stock photos from those websites entirely for free. And this is going to have much of the same process as with RawPixel, but you'll still get different designs because you're using photos instead of graphic elements. Now, once you're done customizing your design, preview it once again to make sure it looks good. So if you're happy with the design of what came out so far, click on Save Product and you're ready to roll. Now, once your product is designed, it's time to get it listed on Etsy, and this is the third step of publishing your own product. Now, the easiest way to do this is to go to the left side of the dashboard and click on My New Store. From there, you'll want to go into Manage My Stores, and you'll be brought to a screen showing your stores where you can click on Connect. Now, there are a ton of options here, but let's go with Etsy since it's the best for beginners. From here, you'll then want to log in and grant access to the Printify app. Now that you've done that, go back into your dashboard and click on My Products on the left side, then click on your product. And here you can adjust your product's name and description. And now most importantly, you can also change the pricing based on the production costs and shipping costs that it shows you. Now, once everything is done, you can click publish and it will push this product directly onto your Etsy store. Now, the last and final thing you want to do is market your product, because as great as it is for you to do all this work and just sit around and automatically, the money starts coming to you, frankly, the truth is it's not that easy, but if you do this next step right, you should be good. So here are 2 ways that you can market it today. First, the easiest way is if you have a little bit of a budget, you can go ahead and use Etsy marketing, where you directly pay Etsy, where they'll show your product on the homepage or higher on the search page. By the way, what I love about Etsy marketing, it's very similar to even Google ads, where you pay for people who click on the ad. So as long as you have good photos and a solid title and description and you're able to convert, you should be able to get a decent conversion rate. Compare this to other platforms like Facebook and Instagram. This is where people burn through a lot of money, and that's because they actually have to pay for just views rather than the clicks that they get. Now, the second way to organically promote your product is through TikTok. I believe this here is still one of the best. You can definitely use Instagram Reels or even YouTube Shorts, whatever your cup of tea is, but I find that TikTok's algorithm is still probably the best within the game. To do this, just go ahead and order a couple copies of your own product and create some free content promoting your item. This here is going to be a good way to build hype around what it is, and also it allows you to drive traffic, similar to what we use in our example with Dumb Club earlier. Now, once you start making some sales, you can see them pop up in the Printify dashboard, and that's where you'll start earning. Now, I know those are 2 general practices of marketing, but if you guys just want the simple recipe on this, generally, if you're building an audience, if you have any following, by the way, you don't have to be an influencer. You could have your own anonymous blog and you could sell your custom merch. This is another way for people to support you while you can earn an income while not really doing much work at all. Now, by following the steps that I mentioned, you should be able to launch your very own print-on-demand business service. And then from there, it's just about testing. Test out different types of organic content. There are trends that come and go. Right now, we are in the fall season, okay? I don't know if there's been this much hype on pumpkins and Starbucks, pumpkin spice lattes and the whole shebang. You can capitalize on moments like that using this service. And I personally think Printify is perfect for momentum-based businesses. So anything momentum-based, it's usually trends related, it's usually growth of an influencer. And if you're able to capitalize that, I believe you can make a lot of money as well. Now, if you use Printify, they're gonna make this whole process a lot easier, and you can get started with them down below. Like I said earlier, it's completely free in order to sign up. They ship worldwide and they offer over 800 products to choose from. Now, last but not least, let me give y'all a little bit of that Jung Alpha. All right, so first of all, don't give up too soon. I see a lot of people get eager, excited, get into this space, find out that they haven't made a sale yet, and then they quit. Look, marketing is the biggest piece of the puzzle to make your product stand out. So try a bunch of different things and specifically take advantage of the new tools that are around. So you can use ChatGPT's AI to see if it'll help you come up with new ideas. You could ask it to tell you what's trending right now. From there, if you need to reach an audience organically, you have TikTok and Instagram. All of these tools that you have now did not exist like 5 to 6 years ago when I was in the game. And even back then, if little young Jung was able to make money, I'm confident that you guys can now too. At the end of the day, taking action is the biggest step, but having the mental toughness to keep you going is what will separate you from someone not making any money to that next 6 to 7 figure millionaire making a ton of money from an online e-commerce service just like this. Second tip I want to mention is you want to keep innovating and adding new products. A lot of people fall in love with one product, they keep marketing it, and little do they know that product, even though you like it, might not be something that everyone in the world does. So earlier on, try different variations, try different designs, look into different markets, and if you gotta scrap up the paper, throw it against the wall, and try on a brand new blank slate, that's completely fine. Within this space, because you're not buying inventory, that's the benefit. I believe innovation here is the key, so don't get discouraged if you don't see any sales, because there are people who are able to make make hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month. If you don't believe me, just type it up on YouTube, look it up on Google. You'll see the blogs that exist. People are making bank out here. You guys can too. Now, the third tip I'll have for you is to always monitor your performance. So if you do begin to sell some items, know how that sale came in, know what the conversion rate is. A lot of people end up making a lot of money quick at first, and then they overlook all the basic business principles, and then they just forget that you still have cost of goods. You still need to pay for ads if you're running ads. And from there, that's where you can actually scale a legitimate business. So with everything that we covered, I know by now you should be pretty excited to get started. Well, check out Printify. You can learn step-by-step on how to make this business profitable in just 11 days with their brand new Printify Etsy print-on-demand bootcamp. This is really cool here because you'll be able to get a step-by-step tutorial on opening your store outside of the instructions I gave you here. They're gonna work together with you on giving you niche examples to help you pick the right one for your interests. They'll help you turn your brand into a strong business, and they'll also give you even more marketing strategies to help you advertise and scale your store. Now, you'll have all of this data and information coming from Printify's very own research team. Now, I think this is a fantastic deal, and it's also for the fact that even if your store, on the chance it doesn't take off or go to the moon, you still learn all these different skills that really apply to any business you may start next. I've said it here on this YouTube channel so many times, I'm gonna say it again. All the things I've learned from dropshipping has enabled me to get to where I'm at now. And as you know, dropshipping is still very similar to the basic principle of what print on demand is. So look, if you want to maximize your profits, you can get up to 70% off using my link and coupon code down below. And just by using this info and taking that first step towards action, you're already going to be on the right path to success. So let's get after it, guys. And I look forward to seeing you all create some good products. And if any of you guys happen to be a millionaire, at least throw your boy a t-shirt or a coffee mug or something. All right, come on now. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Stay blessed, and I'll see y'all soon. Peace.